Another attempt? Exactly what we've all been waiting for. Took me a moment, but you have to understand, y'all. If we can, the sooner we can get everything working, the better, of course. And my goal in all this is to make this game better, right? Make this game better for the community and help those who are doing that with their own knowledge and experience. Because this game is hashtag worth that. Okay? It's worth it. I'm sure many of you would agree. Where'd he go? Good enough. I'm gonna stand right here. Do you stand right here, the camera catches Snake. It's a very particular camera angle. It's aimed very much up. You can get an alert while that guard is going off the elevator, but I really don't like going for it, and it's not necessary. And I consider it pretty risky, because, like, losing time in the dock is pretty bad. Hey, thank you, Lime. That is Lime Meringue. Console runner primarily. He has run PC. Snake. Hopefully that GIF helped you out, Lime. The Ocelot fight. I saw House Test do the same. Like, he was having trouble today as well. I think my problem with my tutorials, I don't really go over like the common mistakes because I don't really know them. But like people, like House was like turning before he recognized that he landed the shot on Revolver. And that's bad. Like, you want to make sure you've actually landed the shot before you circle. The circle is secondary. The shot is primary, right? Yeah, you'll get around to it. You were just waiting on my tutorial. That's why. It's like, oh, I'm waiting on part 2. I gotta see them both together. Some of it's stuff you already know, so. I don't need to teach you the end game. You know the end game. Part 1 of the All Bosses tutorial is the console tutorial, so you could watch that. If you have questions about how it's played on console, just ask. But like, My all bosses PC tutorial for part 1. Tank's easier, which is nice. You don't have to do that crouch thing. Yeah, Hind you just tank damage. It's really not that different. Hind really isn't that different. It's just that you have to be mindful of your ration count going into later on. You already know how to do Raven, so I don't need to explain that. You already know what... This guy... Meryl, just freaking shoot the guy, please. Oh man, that was not good. That's the thing about, like, just, like, pew-pew-pewing 3 times. Like, you don't know if you actually... Everyone, it's better to just fire more. But, like, part 1 of the tutorial, like, it's basically the same thing. The problem with console is that you have to think about your weapon menus more. Which I do talk about that stuff in the tutorial a little bit. Even in part 2, I talk about some of the ammo management differences. But the fact that you have to menu for your weapons makes a difference on your timing. Just as a general thing. And of course you have analog. Ooh, that was really close to the edge. Good. Cold room and hot room. You're talking about Warehouse North. I was like, what is he talking about? I was like, I thought he was talking about Warehouse North, but I wasn't so sure. I thought you might have been talking about Cargo Elevator. Ugh. Not as clean as last time. This intro has not been as good as the last run. Doing that on analog, that's an interesting idea. So I'd just do that on D-pad. Just cook later. The hot cold room. Nice, I got the chaff. Very cool.
Be careful.
Shut up.
Must not use weapons in that area.
Ugh. I don't know what causes that exactly. That's a thing that has happened to other people, but I don't know why it happened to me right now. Was it me switching from grenades to I have no freaking clue what causes that. Does the chaff change this routing? Yes, but not as significantly as it does on console, is basically what I would say to that. Like, oh my word. Having the extra chaff is still a good thing on PC, because you could potentially use those chaff to skip out on using GME later on. So very marginally better to pick up that chaff pickup. On console, it's way more useful, but still not like necessary. It's not going to ruin your run not picking up those chaff or anything like that. You don't gain anything from avoiding those chaff. Like, first trip, you are stuck on a slow cycle because of... You're stuck on a slow cycle because of the codec. And you literally can't skip the codec. So, there's no reason to avoid those chaff. Not a good idea.
Now, make me feel it. Make me feel alive again.
The other thing is you'll notice I'm 7 out of 9. So if you pick up the chaff in this fight, you'll lose out on a chaff. So it's better to wait until the fight is over on console. I don't know if you really need to worry about that on PC. I don't think that one chaff missing is going to be that big of a problem. So you get some extra, you know.
That's good, Snake. Hurry up and catch me.
Good luck.
I'm here, Snake. Where are you looking? Like old times.
Lab corridor didn't split.
For this pain.
This experimental one is having a lot more problems, it seems. Hurt me more.
That's it. I remember that punch.
So like on console, I would just pick those up after the fight. But I think on PC, it's probably better to do it during the fight and take the one chaff loss. If you didn't pick up the chaff during the tank fight, you would have 7, I think? Instead of 9, so, or you'd have 10. Those 3 extra chaff that are free are very useful on console. Again, less so on PC. It's just like a tiny bonus on PC. You don't want her to see you that way. It makes her move slower.
Don't move. Okay, let's go. I know this place better.
Like, the line leaving the tank really isn't that bad. You just have to know how much to go down and then start moving right.
Strange. There's no guard.
I don't really talk about it in my tutorial. I didn't really do a good job in my tutorial anyways. That was one of the weaker points, including Mantis. But really, at the end of the day, you watch a video with the inputs, you follow the inputs, you know when to cook, you know when to throw. That's really all there is to it.
Come on, Mr. Foxhound.
There isn't a whole lot to explain besides you're moving too much this way, you're cooking too early, you're cooking too late. Which, that can happen, but, you know, it's just adjustments. Right square and X. Switching to DS4. Yeah, exactly. That was because I fired twice. You don't want to, you only want to fire as much as you need to. Kind of bad. Also, for some reason, I think it's because of the bindings again. I think that's a problem. So I have an option. I could just completely stop using PS Classic and just use a DS. I just don't like using this DS4 because it's put a lot. I've used it a lot. Stop, mirror. So I'm getting like doubles there. Meh. I don't think it's going to be quite like that per se. I mean, it depends on how quickly people advance, because I'm guessing this is going to not split again. It did this time. There's some weird inconsistencies.
Snake, you follow me.
Because we're not doing like a multi-month league. For one thing. This is not like, oh, we're going to be doing this for 4 months. This is a shortened thing, you know? Plus, I don't want to do, you know, frickin'... We went from October to January.
I thought you were
It's
good with
way
dogs.
too long.
This place is mine. I'll take point again. Stay back, okay?
But the radar isn't working. And since we can't use the mine detector either...
Leave it to me.
So, if you give people 3 months, yes, they will start becoming very, very good at the game. But we're talking like a month. You know? So I don't expect that everyone's going to be doing frickin'...
So,
For one thing, I don't... It's a very gutsy strategy to even go for Grenade Ocelot,
when Mantis dove
for
into
one
my
thing,
body, I was
for such a
completely
small
the
gain.
mind
I did against Tromboncino in our Grand Championship match
only a
for the
little.
tournament we did years ago, but it was Tromboncino and I wanted like every advantage. And even that was like super risky. Punch Wolf is worse. I mean, I guess it is silly. It's not better. You gotta worry about your console gameplay anyways. You got like 2 weeks for console. Lime meringue ain't no putz. That's for sure. I'll help you out. You just tell me a time and I can give you some assistance. If you have, like, questions. See, that split properly. GME2 out of bounds cold room. Like when you're waiting around? I don't understand. I don't know what you're talking about. Slow and dumb. Oh, you're gonna... Why am I throwing at chaff? Now I understand. Okay, you want to lose time during your matches. I got you. That's cool, I guess. That's a way to live life. I mean, I could go out of bounds in, like, 20 extra rooms, but it's worse. It's good for a laugh. Why would you do that and grenade off? I don't understand you. I don't understand you. Who are you? What? It's like, I want to learn Grenade Ocelot, but I also want to just, like, mess around. You're perplexing. You perplex me. Yes, you gotta balance out. I'm doing these YOLO strat, you know, I'm doing the Plywood Englishman chaff throw, doing Grenade Ocelot. But I'm also gonna, like, go grab Box C in the snowfield and equip that. Yeah, there's no reason to go back to Heliport. There's nothing to pick up there. Even for like 100%, there's nothing useful there. So... that sucks, strong guard. Big time loss. I have no idea what my pace is because these splits are all messed up. I had like a 24:58 exit for Wolf 1. It's like a high 24, so we're basically looking for a good fight here. That's really what it comes down to. Especially after that. Yeah, you can run back to that trigger. Not bad. It's just that she was hiding at first.
Don't move.
Okay, this is equivalent. Hey, Joe. Thanks for the raid. Welcome, everyone, from Joe's stream. We are trying to get world record in all bosses easy PC MGS1. We're about to do something that Joe does not like.
You
Submit to the torture. That's why I gotta get Joe in on PC any percent very easy, because you save Meryl. And it's fast. That's why I gotta get him on that. I get him on and on that. It's like, oh dang, I can save Meryl. I can do it. And it's fast. Unless then you're like, oh no, I gotta submit the torture. Yo, we didn't know what the true ending was. Actually, you kind of did, because you got more information in the epilogue if you did Meryl ending. It's kind of the intended thing, even at the time. On PC, I can run an FPV for 360-degree movement. Movement in FPV is like, it's tank controls. It's actually like tank controls. You can like flip if you like crouch like that. It's like a quick turn, but it's not really a quick. I mean, it's the closest thing you got to a quick turn in FPV. I hope you had a good stream, Joe. We got a 102.59 earlier. It's not bad. Supposedly I'm behind, but I wouldn't put much weight in that because the splits have been kind of broken. The rapid fire lady in MGS2 PC. Enabling rapid fire. Lime feels very enabled. MGS3 seemed to be bad. But Joe, did you successfully slide on the window with the box? The hot new strat in HD collection.
He's coming back. See you later.
Wait.
Oh, you didn't even get a run. Oh, never mind. Yeah, people don't know what I'm talking about. There is now a... Because Appel is the mad lad he is, found a way to slide it's the box super slide. You can slide with the box super fast. It is ridiculous looking. It reminds me of an old meme. It was on YTMD. And it was the one that was LOL internet, and you'd see Ronald McDonald like pointing, and there was like this blur background because he's like driving super fast. That's what that reminded me of, is the frickin' box flying on the window super fast. Yeah, if you just look up LOL internet Ronald McDonald, and Running in the 90s is playing in the background. So. Oh yeah, there's time saves, and yeah, that's a huge other thing recently. There's now there's two separate time saves in Europe now during the Resistance stalking, which is awesome that they're making that faster. Anything to get us out of that soon, please. Way too far. Oh my word, I'm bad. I gotta practice that if I want to be consistent. Unfortunate. Lost like 20 seconds. Oh yeah, it's super loud. Even with that nuke building though, like it's still world record, but probably should have just done Pazzo at that point. Alright. I always go quiet there so I can focus on my out of bounds. Supposedly I'm ahead. Supposedly. YTMD meme culture was something else. Some of it definitely didn't age well, but it was definitely of its time when it came to internet memes. But I'm not gonna talk about that. We might go into some weird places. But yeah, that box slide, the super box slide, and the fact that we can make the resistance member move more quickly in a couple of spots in Solid 4 is great. I really wonder if there's some other places that just haven't been located yet. Anything to make the resistance member run forward. If you could just, like, if you could somehow make the resistance member run most of the time in Europe, that would be such a big time save. You could save minutes. If you could somehow make the resistance member run. You probably won't be able to make him run all the time, but if you could make him run most of the time, some of the time, because he walks around, so, or like if you could somehow skip him hanging around in the garden, stuff like that, it would be so massive if you could accomplish that. Even if we could just save a few minutes. I guess Lime Meringue likes going slow, but we already learned that from earlier. He's a meme lord. I say that, but he's tied with me, so I should watch my mouth. Watch my mouth. And wash it. Yeah, I'm gonna investigate this tower. Not right now, but I want to believe there's something here we can do on PC to make this sequence faster. Maybe you could, like, GME 2 immediately, and maybe you could run through the boxes. If you could do that, that would save like 30 seconds. You just want to accumulate losses. Nice perspective. Like here, you save chaff. You have to GME. It's not an option. Let's go prone now. Oh wait, no, you want to go prone at the top. If you're gonna go prone anywhere, you gotta go prone at the top. Because the camera's not gonna work until you do that. Again, I'm really curious if there's some other things we can do there. Eh. Should have went for it. Oh no. This is already going really badly. Yeah, it's so whack trying to get these shots. I got that. Alright, this is gonna be already a worse hind, sadly. So I did not get the fast phase one. I'm really relying on my end game now. Wolf 2 going well. Probably too many mistakes, but we'll see. No, 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 no. Don't do this. Really awkward position. It's flying away. No! It sucks. Yep, this run's now officially super dead. See, flew underneath the building. Due to my incompetence! It's okay, though. It's a big time loss. Waiting that much. Man, Lime, you are so lucky. You are so lucky I'm not on my own channel right now. You are so lucky. You are so lucky. I would have some choice words. Some choice words. Maybe I should privatize all my tutorials. Maybe that's what I should do. Take my ball and go home. Not as lucky as Jag. What do you mean? He stopped streaming. He has personal stuff he's going through right now. Oops. I think he's just pretty engaged with it. I don't think, you know, his life is under threat or anything, but it's taking up a lot of his time. Oh, I gotta love it. No, not the frickin' Nikita. I really, really don't like when she's staying on this side. Yeah, this experimental one is like failing all over the place. Don't worry, I'm sure Jack will be back eventually. There's no indication he's like retiring, but every streamer needs to take breaks from now and then, and life can get in the way. And I don't mean that like, oh man, you know, we should all be gaming all the time. I just mean, you know, stuff happens. You can't really control for it, you know. Limes has taken a break from streaming. Jag has taken a break from streaming. Stuff happens, you know. And I have no freaking clue what my pace is. Yeah, breaks are good. And that's the thing about there being a community around this stuff. Just because one person is taking a break doesn't mean there isn't other people doing stuff. You know? I get people have their favorites, but it's not like if I die tomorrow, while it would be sad, I would imagine for some people, it's not like Metal Gear speedrunning will go away. If someone retired, I should not say death because that's a little bit dramatic. If someone retired tomorrow because they have some life event and they have to leave for a year and they're done, you know, it will be sad, but we can move on. We can grow. Sorry, I don't know why I went really morbid there. I should have went retired. It's way less dramatic and intense. That's my bad. Screw that up, it didn't really matter. Nah, man. That happened. You should still submit a time. Carry on the memory. Limes just needed a break. Like, really, that's what it comes down to. Limes is one of the most diligent... has been one of the most diligent speedrunners in this community. And if you go that hard for that long, like, at a certain point, it all breaks. Not like you break, but it's just like, I need to stop for a bit. You'd alert that way.
Snake.
No! Apparently I'm ahead. God bomb. I love that idea, the God bomb. Here comes the God bomb. It sounds like a anime wrestling move or something. The God bomb. Nah, it was a ration. I still did get the bomb though. It was basically the same thing I got last run. The PAL card was in the same position and I picked up the bomb. So pretty dang similar. JC, a bomb. A bomb. Hey, Spartan Blitz. Nice. Just for Lime, because he brought it up, like, you know, Plywood, it's slightly faster to kill the guard rather than skate. So, I did it for you, Lime. Probably won't do that next time. Because, like, the little delay, if you mess up, is not really worth the... You didn't... Oh, come on. You didn't... I knew about that. It's not like you revealed anything to me. I contributed. Give me a break. Pio, did you know you could kill that guy? Oh, man. The Lime shot, oh my word. It's going to his head. I shouldn't have said anything. Can you believe this? The Bang Meringue. That's actually a pretty sick name, but you should really save that for something A, you made, and 2, something cooler than that. Come on. And yes, I know I said A and 2. Everyone's like, oh my god! It's A and B or 1 and 2! Oh my god! The Bang Meringue. Oh, I was holding X. There's no reason to do that. Alright. Lime choke describes my runs normally. But the Bang Meringue is such a cool name that stealing something you didn't even make and something as lame as shooting that guard to save... I don't know why I did that. Whatever. It's a small time loss. On PC, this saves, what? A frame or 2. And on console, like a frame or 2. I don't even know. I'd have to, like... You'd have to look very closely. But that skating does lose the insiest bit of time overshooting the guard. The problem being, if you fail holding the gun up, it loses time on PC as well. It's not like it doesn't lose time, but the time loss is very, very minimal. To the point where it's like, for me, my perspective is, if you fail holding up the gun and you stop in place, you've lost more time, 100%. So, especially if you accidentally go item menus? Oh, no. At a high level, you would not have chaff at this point on all bosses console. You would have already gotten rid of all your chaff, so no. At this point in the run, I'd be running with the SOCOM out all the time. That's what I do. I'm assuming that's what you mean. You shouldn't say, you should say weapon menu, not item menu. I knew what you mean, but just be more specific. The camera room? What about the camera room? The lines to avoid the camera on console, you can use the gun. The gun does not change the chair trick. Chaff does, the gun does not. So on any percent for the blue card to do the chair trick, you hold left with no weapon equipped. You can't do that on PC. But if you hold, I think if you have the gun out, it works fine. If I recall correctly. The cold room Rex Warehouse North with the turrets? What about it? Okay, well, here's the thing. So, picking up those chaff, we're getting into the weeds here. So, picking up those chaff to save time, I don't think it actually saves time. I get that you take a tighter line, but you have to go out of your way to pick up the chaff in the first place. So we're talking about differences of fractions here. So I need to look into it again, because it's not just a console question, it's a general question, like when should you pick up those chaff grenades? I don't think it's actually worth it, because if you have to pick those up, you have to go out of your way your first time to pick it up. And then you have to menu, because at that point you shouldn't have a chaff grenade. On all bosses specifically, you shouldn't have a chaff grenade, because you don't want chaff, so you can switch between rifle and stinger quickly for wolf, unless you only do stinger. See, there's all these considerations. It's complicated. All bosses routing is way more complicated. Why am I learning this? Because you brought it up. You're like, well, we should pick these up. And it's like, I don't really talk about, I talk about this with people who are like super into the game. Because it's I guess you could just call it the Warehouse North chaff problem. Is a bit of an issue, because it's not just, it depends on difficulty, it depends on category, and it depends on platform. I did some math a while ago looking into what is value, but I think my conclusion at the time was picking up those chaff just to speed up your Warehouse North line going towards Rex's lair was not worth it, because you only do it twice. And you're like, but you can use chaff after you pick up the chaff in the first place. but you're still losing time over just running forward and knowing how to do the line. So you're only saving, the only time you're saving there is going from the cold card and the hot card. And it's like a fraction of a second. It's like 0.2, 0.3, something like that, over just moving with D-pad. Yeah, like, throwing a chaff there is faster. That's the fastest way to get through the room, is throwing a chaff. There's no question about that. So in a vacuum, yes. In a vacuum, 100%. But you do have to go slightly out of your way for that pack, for what is a very small gain at this point in the game. Because chaff aren't really that useful at this point. On extreme, you'll probably want those. Yeah, it'll fall through. There's a pretty infamous clip on my channel of me losing a PC extreme run to the chaff falling in the hole. That's a thing on PC. It's weird.
Now, in front of you, I can finally die. After Zanzibar, I was taken from the battle, neither truly alive nor truly dead. An undying shadow in a world of light. But soon, it will finally end.
Too close. Whatever.
If you win, you might still be able to save her. Could enjoy one brief moment of love before the end. If you cross this line, you'll fall. At this height, it will kill even you. Have at you, Snake. Nice shot!
Not bad. Not bad. By the way, 1 hour mark on console. You're basically want to be on PS TV. That is, you want to be like freezing the card at that point. Just as a perspective of how much time you save on PC. we're already about to end.
Uh-oh, Snake. It's a checkpoint. Here they come. Good job, Snake. Let's
That was
go.
nice. That was good. Cable's all getting jammed up in my chair.
Here they come.
Nice swing shot. Too bad I got knocked over to the right side. The wrong side, rather.
Clear a path.
And I didn't get a
You did it, Snake.
second shot on the middle guard, so it was not as good of a checkpoint 2 as the PB.
Not yet, Snake. It's not over yet. Liquid.
No. Didn't get the frame perfect shots. Okay. I got my transitions. Not bad.
Snake, look, daylight. Hold on.
Not bad at all. I think this is it.
Snake.
Hush, Colonel. Shh. It'll be okay. Be okay. You know why it'll be okay, folks? 'Cause I just got a new world record. 102.43. Full 10 seconds faster. Definitely can be improved, but I'm going to take that W. Yes! Thank you for the GGs. Thank you for the pretty good. The YPG blue metal. Ooh. Ooh, Lime. Lime tried his best to distract me. Nah, it was all fun. It was good fun. I was pretty annoyed with what happened on that hind, but hey, it just goes to show there's so much time to be saved on this run. It's not that optimized. Because I had a bad hind. I messed up the nuke building twice. You know, so there's room for improvement, but it was good enough to get the job done. So, well, 243.